My name's Nate Boley, and 20 years ago, strength training changed the course of my life. I built a gym here in Bend, Oregon from scratch that's helped over 1,500 people change their lives as well through strength training. If you want to change your life, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com, hit the Start My Journey button, and let's chat. All right, guys, we'll see you there. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast as we're wrapping up season 2 of the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast. We're going to be working on season 3 and what we're going to be talking about and amping up our production and just making it better, right? That's what we do. We just don't want to do the exact same thing every single year. We want to make it better. But this episode, I know I went over and did like how to be successful in 2025, but I did actually skip something over I really wanted to go over today. And that is just basically how to really survive the holidays and how to stay consistent when things get crazy and how to start something new when things are busy. I hear this all the time. We run ads on our social media and on Google and stuff, and I get new leads that come in and they sit there and tell me, hey, I gotta wait for XYZ. I gotta wait for this. I gotta wait for this. Oh, things are just too busy. And that's just really not true. Nobody is too busy that they can't prioritize or just carve out a little tiny bit of time for their health and fitness. It's mainly because they don't want to commit, they're kind of scared, or it's just something new, and so they're just kind of like, I can't really add anything new right now. And that may be true. You can't always just add something in new to your life. You have to really say, hey, you have to analyze kind of where you are, what you're doing, and hey, where can I kind of carve out a little bit of time, whether that's in the morning, midday, mid-afternoon, after work, on the weekends. There's always something you can do to carve out a little bit of time for yourself. I was literally on the text messaging back and forth with a lead who had signed up for our ad, and I was talking back and forth with this lead, and the leads, at first they scheduled a consultation. And then they canceled the consultation last minute, which is pretty typical of kind of like this more coldish leads type thing. I see it quite a bit. And then if somebody cancels their first initial consultation, the likelihood of them actually signing up for another one is almost zero. It's so close to zero. It's crazy. I have to do a lot of work to talk them back into it. And I'm not really 100% sure why that is, but I'm like, hey, I finally got a hold of this person, this lead. And I was like, hey, I know you canceled. Let's get you back on. They're like, no, I'm sick. I was like, okay, fair. I'll reach out to you next week. You don't want to spread your germs and you probably don't feel very good. And so I reach out to this lead the next week and they're like, oh no, I'm still sick. And okay. I see where this is going. I've only done this 10,000 times by now. And, I don't really know 100% what's going on in this person's life, but I do know just from sheer numbers that this is probably just some kind of avoidance tactic, which is okay. We all do it. That's, I've done it. Everybody does it. That's just the way it is. But that's why you really want a coach to be able to help you through these things, because if I didn't continuously engage with this lead, they would not be coming in today for a consultation and signing up for our gym and starting something new. So I was like, okay, go back to the story. I text this person the following week. No, I'm still sick. I'm going to have to wait, another week. Okay, fine. So coming up on, I think this was Sunday, I text, hey, Monday's coming up. I've got a few I got a few spots open, which is always true. I got a few spots open each day. Small business operation, got kiddos, got staff, got training things. Just not able to, we're not a big box gym. We can't do the things that those guys do, but we do we do it really well. So I said, hey, I've got a couple of spots open. And this person says, hey, I'm just not going to be able to commit to this. I've got too many things going on in my life. I've got this going on. I've got this going on. I've got this going on. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. Thank you for sharing that with me. We're all busy. And I just kind of gently nudged and gently challenged the mindset. I was like, we all have 24 hours in the day. And at the end of the day, we have to be able to carve out a little bit of time to take care of ourselves, right? We have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, because if we don't, we are not going to be able to show up our best for anybody else, including ourselves. And this person was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Can you meet with me on this time? And that's today. We haven't met yet. It's a couple hours. And I was like, man, I love that, because I showed them that, yeah, they absolutely need to prioritize just a little bit of time. I'm not saying you need to prioritize 3-4 hours a day, 5 days a week, or anything like that. A couple hours a week is all you really need to get something started. And you're going to make, if you're not doing anything right now and you start doing something 2 days a week, you're going to make insane gains right away. So basically, that's a story that I wanted a preemptive, this podcast with, because like I said, it's just so common. I get tons of people asking me about the gym because I'm always out there. Like I said, we run ads. And then when it comes time to be like, hey, we're here. I've showed you what you need to do. All you got to do is take the next step. Oh, no, I'm too busy. I got to wait till after the holidays. And that's just absolutely not true. It's just flat out not true. I've seen so many people that tell me that, and then I've seen so many people that are like, hey, you know what? In the past, I've said this, I've done this, and I'm just going to not do that this time and see what happens. And the people I've made this podcast before, I've talked about this before many times in my business group and on this podcast and on my social media. The people who start, they wait till after a specific time frame because it's more ideal for them, are like 80% more likely to fail with their fitness goals, because they're not prioritizing it and they're not saying, hey, I'm not making any more excuses right now. This is what I'm going to do. All right, guys, before we dive into our next point, I just wanted to take a quick moment to tell you guys about Strength Warehouse. If you're struggling to create a plan, you don't know where to start, we've got your back. Every member of Strength Warehouse begins with a free 20-minute, what we call a no-sweat intro. It's a consultation where we just talk about your goals and we design a plan around that's tailored to you. We specialize in strength and conditioning, personal training, group classes, nutrition, and we focus on getting you the results you want. So if you want to stop spinning the hamster wheel and actually get some real results in 2025, go check out our website, benstrengthwarehouse.com. Schedule your free no sweat intro today, and we're going to help you. So anyway, enough of that. Back to the podcast. All right, guys, now on to what I really wanted to talk about in our podcast today, and I went off on a rant like I usually do. You guys know me by now. I start going down the rabbit hole on something, and I'm super passionate about it, and so I just start rambling down that rabbit hole. Anyway, today I was really wanted to talk about how to navigate the holiday seasons and the busy seasons of life, and sticking with your nutrition and your fitness goals, because you made those goals for a reason, right? They're not just like, oh yeah, I thought about losing 20 pounds once. I thought about doing a competition once. I thought about doing this once. And as soon as it gets a little tough, I'm like, no, maybe even you don't even make that conscious decision. You just don't go to the gym one day, or you go on vacation. You know how many times I've sat across in my consultation room from somebody that says, hey, I was super active for years. We went on a vacation for XYZ, and now it's been a year, 2, 3, 4, 20. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, man, you guys just got to get back on that. I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like when I come back from a big vacation, really the last thing I want to do is go right back into lifting heavy weights. Or, I was sick for like a month. Seemed like I had a cough and a sniffle for like a month. It really sucked to work out. I was coughing and hacking up a lung, and nobody wants to hear that inside the gym. And so I took some time off, and getting right back into it. So as soon as this podcast's done, I'm going to walk into the gym and I'm going to do some squats, and then I'm going to get back into work, right? But anyway, I wanted to kind of give you some tips and tricks on how to navigate, the holiday season. The biggest couple of things that I could, name off all these different efficient workouts and, mindful eating and healthy swaps, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's going to really do that, right? Maybe you do a little bit of that, and I think I do as well. Instead of XYZ, I eat something else. But really, is being dedicated to the process. And the way that you do that is having a goal and having a coach help you navigate those things, right? For me, I've got a powerlifting coach, and when it gets heavy, when I get busy, when nothing feels good, I'm still putting in the reps because I know I've got XYZ powerlifting meet coming up or XYZ competition coming up, and my coach is making sure that I'm getting there, right? So having the dedication to set a goal to do something, that's really, really helpful in the short term on keeping you through these busy times and busy seasons. And having a coach help you go through there. We get multiple members that come into our gym that say, hey, I want to strength train for the winter, and then I'm going to stop strength training and I'm going to do all my running. Well, that's a good approach, but a better approach would be to continue strength training all year long while you're doing your endurance stuff, making sure the coach is curtailing the program because they're going to, as long as you tell them you're doing that. And I get the same thing in the summertime. I'm like, hey, I want to be excellent for ski season, but I'm only going to do it for 3 months, and then I'm going to go into ski season and I'm going to drop all my strength training and all my exercise except for that and just hit the mountain really hard. Well, what they find is, and what we find because we talk to hundreds of people that do this, is that they get really strong, or they get a lot stronger, I should say, and they start moving better and they start feeling better. And they go into their season, whether that's endurance season, biking season, snowboarding, skiing, whatever. They start the season off with a bang, and they stop all their strength training, they stop their other exercises, and what happens is at the end of the season, they've almost completely lost everything that they made. And so now they have to start over again in the spring or whenever their cycle ends, right, of their whatever they're doing. So the better way to do that, and we have again been practicing this and collecting data with multiple members. Hey, what is it like if we just go down from XYZ? Maybe you're doing 4 sessions a week or 3 sessions a week to 1 or 2 and not stop strength training. Keep it going. And we can curtail, say if you're a skier and you're like, hey, I'm going to be skiing all weekend long. Cool. Well, let's not do a bunch of lower body on Thursday and Friday before you go out to the mountain all weekend long. We can curtail those exercises and the time frames you're doing it so you have recovery and that you're feeling really good when you go into your sessions. That's the 2 biggest things I would say is navigating the holiday season and any busy season in life, because the holiday season is really just busy. They got family coming in, you got expectations, but and I will go into a couple of things. So if you're going out of town, which a lot of people do, if you're a member of our gym, we hook you up with our application and you can follow along with what we're doing. It's our coaching app. You download the coaching app and you can literally follow along with what we're doing. So you stay on track, and maybe you don't do all the workouts. I get it. Maybe you have a couple too many cocktails with your family on Friday night and you're like, Saturday, but Sunday I'm going to go back into the gym and do what I'm supposed to do. So that's an excellent perk of being a Strength Warehouse member. It doesn't matter if you're flying across the world or you're just, hanging out for the weekend at your home. You can do stuff and, maybe it says barbell squats, but you're at a hotel and or you're at an Airbnb. There is no barbells. Cool. Do body squats. Do the exact same workout that we're doing, but just do it in a modified way. So you're still getting the same movements in. It doesn't have to be necessarily weighted or not. With meals, again, if you eat clean and you eat to where you need to be at least 85% of the time, 80 to 85% of the time, it's totally fine for you to indulge in some pumpkin pie or some candy or a couple more drinks than you usually do, whatever. The biggest thing is making sure that you get back on track the next day or the next Monday or whatever it is. Don't let it turn into a long thing. Just like when you fall off your workout regimen, don't let it happen for 6-8 months. I hear this again consistently. I had a couple of clients at the gym not too long ago, and great people, and they're doing excellent in their programming. I started noticing they were falling off. And I was like, hey guys, what's going on? They're like, oh, this and this happened. We need to cancel our membership. And I was like, well, why do you need to cancel your membership? And they're like, well, we're just super busy, and we just haven't been able to make it to the gym. And I was like, okay, well, I'm a master at like scheduling, budgeting, and all sorts of stuff. Like, let's go through and see where your schedule is and see where we can't get it in. No, I don't want to do that. I was like, okay, well, whatever. And I get it. Actually, I don't get it, but I understand where you're coming from. And then I reach out to him 6 months later. And I say, hey guys, what's your plans on continuing your fitness and nutrition so you don't fall off the wagon and go right back into your old ways? Oh, we're gonna work out at home, or we're gonna get a Planet Fitness membership and go there, or I'm gonna go here. This happens monthly, by the way, monthly. I've had this conversation, oh my God, probably 500 times at least. And I see the writing on the wall, and I'm like, who are you lying to? Are you lying to me, or are you lying to yourself? A little bit of both, I'm guessing here. Reach back out to him, 6-8 months later. Hey, so-and-so, what's going on? How are you? Wanted to check in on you. How's your fitness going? Oh man, we completely fell off, just like you said. And now we're way back farther than we were before. We gained an extra 5 pounds, or I slipped and fell and hurt myself, and blah 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 blah. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's get back into the gym. No, I need to get back into shape before I can go back there. And it's just the mindset. It boggles me. I don't understand it at all. I understand where people are coming from, but I don't understand why they have this mindset. Getting back on track as soon as you are over the weekend or over the holidays or whatever is the key thing, right? Stressful, holidays can be super stressful, right? You got obligations, you got money things, you got to buy presents, you got to travel or have people over. Managing stress is one of the hardest things that I see people doing during the holidays. I try not to stress too much about it. I love the holidays. I'm very open about my expectations with presents. I'm very open with my, hey, I'm getting XYZ presents, or this is what I'm allotting for my present money. I don't think it's, I'm not going to go crazy, and I'm not going to put myself into debt, and I'm not going to stress about it. It's about being with family and having a great time. But when the stresses of the holidays come up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Halloween even is kind of in there with the holidays, is making sure you have a way to release stress. And one of the best stress reliefs are working out, eating clean, feeling good, that type of stuff. And the other thing about getting through the holidays unscathed as possible is making sure you're setting goals for the new year right now. Again, this falls right back into those people I was talking to you about that are like, hey, I need to wait till the beginning of the year. I need to wait till after the holidays. Well, why? Well, what's the real reason here? They're not setting themselves up for success. And I know you guys are, because you're listening to my podcast. Most of you guys are already in our gym. But we do have, a lot of listeners that come that aren't in our gym. And I'm talking to all you guys, making sure that you're setting up. If you haven't gotten or haven't done a goal review with us and you're one of our members, like, let's set one up. Let's make sure that we're successful going into the first quarter of the year. You don't want to wake up January 1st and be like, oh crap, now it's time to go. No, get that stuff going right now. It's so much easier to do it right now than to wait. I think the saying goes, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the next best time? Today, right? Don't wait. Make sure you're setting up goals and that type of stuff. Last thing I'm going to talk about before I let you guys go, because it's time to squat some heavy weight and have some consultations and just do the gym stuff. But having a community and support is probably right up there with having a coach and having a goal, right? So you're seeing all your other friends go to the gym. You're seeing them post on social media about being there. Maybe you're seeing, maybe your spouse is going with you, and you see the gains that they're making and how good they look, and they're fitting in their clothes, and how vibrant they are because they're exercising and they're feeling good. Finding somebody to help you through these times that are pitfalls, and don't get me wrong, we all struggle with these. Like I said, we all struggle with this. But the main thing between people with success and people with failure is they find the things that help them win, like having a coach, having a goal, and having support, and having the plan, right? The plan to do it. So finding yourself a great coach, having them help you build a goal, and then finding a community that's going to help you, execute those goals is going to be your best way to get through the holidays, which we're already partway through. Get through the holidays and be successful in 2025 in the first quarter. So anyway, hope you guys got some value out of that. And you just wanted to leave you guys with, you can do a lot more than you think you can. You're definitely stronger mentally and physically. And go out there and do hard things today, okay? All right, guys. Until the next time, we will see you later. Thanks for joining us on the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast today. We hope you got a lot of value and had a ton of fun. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about what we do, or just have a ton of resources at your fingertips, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com and hit the Start My Journey button. All right, guys, until next time, go heavy or go home.